Hi everyone, how's it going? A beautiful day. Dr. Rob Kiltz, Seeing My Fertility, the Fertile Fireside Chat. Let's see, Sunday, 10 a.m. This is what I'm working towards. I have to cut out at 11. I got to get to the airport and traveling back up to Syracuse. Busy week, and really working diligently to take care of everyone in the most amazing, positive ways that I can. All right? I needed a little bit of rest this last couple of days, so I've taken a little vacation and I've really worked to turn it down so I can focus on helping, because that's really the key to a lot of what we're doing. So my setup is a little different than usual. I'm trying to kind of work the Instagram and the Facebook. And how's everyone doing? Victoria, String Girl Racing, how you doing? Tamika, hello. Hey Brooke, how are you? Jennifer, hi. And we're just continuing to talk about the same stuff. I'm like a broken record, I know. Sorry about my sometimes a little bit of craziness, and I'm learning. So much of what we all have to bring and do in this crazy process, right? Called the Fertile Fireside Chat. We're all learning together. Thank you for all the great questions. Fierce Fist, looking forward to an appointment coming up soon. Should we bring to the appointment? If you have some of your records in your history, but the story matters more than anything. If you haven't had an AMH, get it. A semen analysis, it's good. An HSG, it's good. If you had a laparoscopy or surgery, know what the results were. But ultimately, your story really tells the whole thing in this whole process that I've learned for so long. Hello, Mary Elizabeth, Hillary Allison, hello. And I'll try to get to all these. Wens 13, hi from Virginia. How can the thin lining be addressed? Opal Morgan, hi. All right, so thin linings have to do with inflammation or low estrogens, or something is blocking the effects of the estrogen at the uterine lining. It may be from chronic procedures, infections. I think it has to do with chronic glycation, excessive glucose in our bodies, which damages the glandular cells that make the endometrium grow. So I think things like Kiltz's keto is critical. Look at Maria and Craig Emmerich's stuff. It's really good. I do the 1 meal a day. Our new Dr. Kiltz's keto lifestyle book is coming out very soon. Amazon, on our websites for a download. We're going to make it very reasonably priced, but if you come to see my fertility, you could download for free. If you go to Amazon, you can actually get a hard copy. It's going to cost you a little bit. We're trying to save money and pass it on. But slow it down, cool it down, acupuncture, massage. This is where I think low-dose naltrexone, CBD oil, are really valuable in reducing inflammation in our bodies. And remember, you want to clear the gut of inflammation, which is deadly and dangerous for the uterus, tubes, ovaries, for the seminal vesicles, the prostate, and the testicles, by the way. So, it's all really interesting and important, but sometimes we'll add a little bit of Viagra, either oral or vaginal, maybe some human growth hormone to the process, some intrauterine PRP on a monthly basis, every 2 to 4 weeks, high volume PRP intrauterine. They help regenerate the endometrial lining and help it build, by the way. And sometimes you have to just go slow in the process. Don't go too quickly. Let's see, Cameo O'Rear. Will Omnitrope help a second retrieval if the first retrieval had lots of empty follicles, PCOS? Add some letrozole. So we're kind of working on some newer protocols over the last several months. One is add 2.5 to 5 of letrozole to the 10 days of stem, especially if you're a high responder, to keep the estrogen levels low, so we can trigger with the combination of Lupron and a little bit of HCG, anywhere between 2,500 and 5,000. The human growth hormone, 6 units, 3 to 6 units a day, starting either prior to stimulation or with stimulation throughout, may also help get some of those empty follicles where either the egg degenerated, the egg didn't exist in there at all, or it just didn't come out. So we got to work on these things a little bit in the whole process. And thank you to everyone for helping respond, answer questions. And we're all here to support. If you have extra eggs to donate, extra sperm to donate, a uterus to help someone carry a baby for someone and make it more affordable. If you have a way to donate something in the helping in the process of this very costly, physically, financially, and emotional process, by the way. People saying that their fresh cycle didn't work. Should I do a frozen? Sam Morrill. All right. Fresh works, frozen works. If one didn't work, switch it around. This isn't a one side works for any of us, by the way. So we still do a lot of frozen embryo transfers. We do a lot of fresh transfers. So we're doing all of them, by the way. If one thing didn't work, let's change it up and try something different. Mandy Black, 2 failed transfers, had lap done on Friday. How long should I wait to do a transfer again? The next cycle is fine. If we do a hysteroscopy, laparoscopy for endo, remove it or find nothing, right the next cycle. Sometimes we may treat with a month or 2 of either Orilissa, Lupron, as ways of suppressing endo, and add some either letrozole, human growth hormone, or antibiotic for a few weeks, by the way. Can you guys hear me okay and see me okay? I'm going to give a quick rub to the camera, clean it up a little bit. And see, I've had 3 healthy pregnancies, tubes tied now. Can I do a natural transfer? We are doing a lot more natural transfers for frozens. We're doing a lot more natural and mini cycles for fresh retrieval and transfers. Remember, our $3,900 plus monitoring, which makes it about $4,700 to $4,900 with financing for everyone. People come to us and would like to get a fresh transfer. And I think that fresh works a lot. But even in a frozen cycle where you're doing a frozen embryo transfer with a thawed embryo, or thawed egg, thawed sperm, or a fresh egg in one way or another to make that embryo, a natural cycle can work really, really well. What we're working to do at CNY Fertility is really get more and more back to natural ways of changing what's going on within our bodies, male and females. Again, egg source and sperm source, or a uterine. And remember, at CNY Fertility, we take care of everyone, no matter what your gender identification is. We're here to help build families. So know this, that we're doing a lot of natural stuff. We're doing a lot of low-dose letrozole or Clomid or a combination plus a trigger in either intercourse, IUI, or IVF. And don't forget, I've asked Will to get that level of immune treatments 1, 2, 3, and 4 online in our magazine for our keto family building guide and keto guide and health and wellness guide to help guide us all to a new level to make it easier, by the way. Asia Ladisi, how do fibroids cause infertility? Well, fibroids in and of themselves aren't the cause of infertility. The cause of infertility is inflammation. Inflammation is caused by excessive glucose consumption, plant antigens, plant chemicals, fiber fermenting in our bowels, and excessive exercise. And fibroids are caused by the inflammation. It's a sink of inflammation, like a tumor, endometriosis. Fibroids can either disrupt the uterine lining, where it impedes into the lining, disrupts implantation, or it changes the environment. And really, we're talking environment in all this. The environment is it's either too hot or too cold, too much inflammation. We can look at it with NK cells, white cells, ESR, and other markers. But in my opinion, if you're infertile or suffering from repetitive loss, it might be fibroids and or endo. But by treating the endo and the fibroids with Lupron, Orilissa, letrozole for 1 to 3 months, that might help. You know, the challenge is that many women conceive with fibroids and endo, but others don't. And why they don't, it's the mystery. But my opinion is, if what you're doing isn't working, it might be time to get in there and remove the fibroids. and or treat with that 1 to 2 to 3 months of Orlissa or Lupron, letrozole, human growth, antibiotics, DHEA, LDN, CBD, and number one, Kiltz's keto is king. And so much of what I realize is that we are a fat-making, fat-burning machine. We don't utilize glucose for energy. It must be converted to fat or we die. We cannot live very long on glucose alone, by the way. Let's see, older patients, 49, young, banked eggs, husband sperm. We can help with that. We do a lot of banked eggs, and we're really encouraging women at younger ages, men at younger ages, to bank your eggs and sperm, bank your embryos earlier. If you're really considering postponing your childbearing, remember, a lot of what we're talking about is it's an insurance policy that you never know if you're needed, whether it's valuable, but doing nothing obviously gets you nothing. All right, do you recommend continuing net carbs or total carbs for keto? Lindsay, I recommend keto for life, and Kiltz's keto is a home run forever. Again, 1 meal a day at night, rest and digest. I go 23 hours in general without food. I might have a little bit of snack of salami, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of chocolate. If you look at our new Dr. Kiltz's keto lifestyle, and it emulates a lot of what I've learned from Marie Emmerich, Andre Seinfeld, Gary Taubes, William Davis, David Perlmutter. It goes on and on and on. And keto is a lifestyle forever for the human Ferrari, the miracle machine. We are that miracle machine. That's the amazing concept. And I know it's crazy, but it works. And once you're pregnant, stay on it, because what I've learned is plant estrogens, androgens, and progestins are the reason for our reduced reproduction. A high plant-based diet, 3 to 6 meals a day, like a grazing animal, is killing our reproduction. Plants are the predators and we're the prey. It wants to reduce our herbivoreness. And yes, we can eat it. And a lot of people have babies on a plant-based diet and seem to be well. But if you're having the problem, believe me, it is likely carbs, glucose, and the others, and repetitive losses. And I believe even chromosomal abnormalities, DNA defects, are all caused by inflammation based on our recommended low-fat diet, which is deadly, by the way. What should I do to prepare for a first retrieval? Stacy Emmett, how you doing, Stacy? Number one, listen and learn as much as you can. Listen to podcasts, read the stories, connect with others that have done this. No matter what you do, you can't understand it 100% until you do it, and then you can't understand it 100%, because even after 30 plus years of doing this fertility business, being a physician, realizing that so much of what we've learned is actually incorrect. But listen and learn and read and watch. There's so many YouTube videos on the process. CNY Fertility is continuously putting things out there, and we encourage our clients that come through to us, share your stories. Whether you got to share the good and the bad. None of us are perfect. We all have bumps in the road, and we all learn through our mistakes. Good morning, Tiffany. PCOS treatment, Clomid or letrozole? I love letrozole over Clomid for everyone. I'm doing a 5 to 10 milligrams a day for 5 to 10 days and longer. I've also recently started adding a combination of 50 of Clomid and 5 of letrozole, or 100 of Clomid and 10 of letrozole for 10 days. And you follow it weekly. And if you don't see something a week after, take another 3 to 5 days and look again. And remember, keto, keto, keto. And one thing we don't talk much about is laparoscopy, ovarian drilling. I've seen ovarian drilling help. I call it ovarian acupuncture. And laparoscopy can help. And this is where I think LDN, CBD, PRP may be also very helpful for the process. We're sharing thoughts and ideas, your experience, and things you've done to make it better, by the way. Oh, don't forget Fertile Hope Yoga with Erin McCullough. Join her, listen to her, follow her, do the yoga and meditation at home every day. I start my day with meditation, prayer, visualization, I work on this. The mind and the mouth is the master of our miracle machine. And remember, you are a miracle machine no matter what size, shape, age, color, gender, definition. It doesn't matter. Remember, we need to see love in ourselves in the mirror and all around us. Let's see. Let's go over to our Instagram. Thanks everyone for being so patient in the process. Will you transfer two embryos? Corey Lee Hawaii. We do occasionally do two. One's our recommended number. We're seeing such good outcomes with one. I'm working on more ones, but occasional twos, and over 3 possible, depending on the quality and the PGS testing. And I'm not a big proponent of the biopsy of an embryo because it may be inaccurate, it may damage the embryo, it may reduce your odds in the process. And we're working with Dr. McNichols in Orlando, Dr. Magarelli in Colorado Springs. We're open to work with your docs wherever they are in this country to help affordability, quality, and access. We're also kind of offering and recommending genetic screening, either SEMA4 or through LabCorp, and look at getting the screening for both the sperm source and the egg source. But it's your decision to do it. It's not mandatory testing in my opinion, by the way. Let's see, anything to help with transfer. Having my first on Wednesday. Any add-ons? Oh, someone did add about embryo glue, PRP and HCG washes, intralipids, IVIG, Humira, adding Lovenox, Plaquenil, Prograf, Neupogen. I mean, the list on the level 4, including leukocyte immunotransfusion, LIT, Markham Fertility, Toronto. Mike Vero is excellent. Their team is amazing. And the other is to go to Nogales, Mexico. But we see clients from around the globe: Bangladesh, Pakistan, Italy, South Africa, Nigeria, Asia. Around the globe, we're finding our clients are traveling for a new and different idea. Health and wellness in the mind and the mouth first. And with that, slow it down. And we're doing these add-ons are really about reducing inflammation, increasing implantation, intrauterine HCG, PRP, and Neupogen, sub-Q Neupogen, and even human growth hormone to start sub-Q. And we have that list, and Will is putting it online every week. You get it on the front page of either drkiltz.com or on the CNY Fertility website, front page for your download, free of charge. And again, our family building guide is free of charge download. And we're going to be selling both of those on Amazon, so you can get an instant print at home in order for us to pass on the savings to make this whole process more affordable for everyone. And talk to your OBGYN, gynecologist. We have local ultrasound centers. We're working with H2O, TK H2O down in Atlanta. And I'll talk more about it. I didn't bring the stuff and I don't want to misspeak, but how we can do more frequent hydration, intralipids, and other multivitamins and other supplements intravenous, plus a visit with a nurse in our office or through one of the H2O, TKH2O, in order to really help us all find our centerness, right? Reduce our worriness and be more centered and mindful and grounded in this process. And in our Rochester office, we have our Fertile Grounds Cafe with the intention to go hang out and relax. And a lot of what we're building at our centers is try to work it out to make it much more relaxed. Let's see. Yes, PRP intralipids the day prior to transfer, intralipids the day of transfer, but it can be done weeks or months prior and weeks after the transfer and throughout your pregnancy. And I think that TKH2O hydration centers really will be helpful. And again, I'll post the stuff on our website. We're going to be putting in our marketing, and information to reduce inflammation. My tongue twister as we keep going. Hey Kendra, how you doing? Stony Carter, how you doing? Transfer, should I do intralipids? Intralipids can be done just before or just after the transfer, a week after, a week before. I think, again, the thing about intralipids, remember, it's intravenous fat. There's a lot of information. Remember, why is keto? It's a high-fat diet, whether it's coconut fat, butter, ghee, cream, or lard or tallow. It's eating fat that suppresses inflammation, helps our bowels function better, cleans them out, and makes us healthier and strong. And remember, get off the treadmill. It's not good for any of us, right? All right. Let's see. Who do we got? We transfer to Samian. Hello. Let's see. How to recruit more eggs during stims and have them grow evenly. My last retrieval led to the only 2 embryos that failed at the transfer. If you could find that answer out, give it to me. Because what we're all trying to do is get this larger cohort to come up, but then you get too many, that's not good either. We're doing a lot more duo stems, mid-cycle stems, starting right with your cycle stems, not waiting for all this baseline stuff. And if you have a cyst, you still stem. We're learning and all of this, by the way. But a lot of this is, I don't know that answer. This is where maybe estrogen, human growth priming, adding a little bit of testosterone topical may help in the process. Keto may help. Blast it hard, bring the levels down. But in general, we've been doing more letrozole 10, FSH 200 from the beginning, starting on day 1 or 2 of the cycle, and not waiting for a baseline. And we're really working to do that more and more, coming up with new ways. And remember, sperm and egg require a healthy environment for men and women, right? For the egg source and sperm environment, right? And so if we can do that for all of us to build better sperm, and whether using known donor, anonymous donor, egg or sperm, and we're really working, bring your known egg or sperm donor in, we're going to work to send you a package in order to get the proper blood testing, infectious disease testing to help you on your way. Let's see here, Dr. Kiltz. Hello, Jonathan, Mia. My wife has endoPCOS fibroids. She had her HSG and saline stone. Everything came out normal, FET, but her TSH was over 8 when transfer, and it failed. Surgery before a second FET. If you have fibroids and endo, get them out. And there are a lot of times the TSH levels go up in response to a lot of these treatments, and we just got to watch it and try to treat it. Prograf, prednisone, estrase, LDN, PIO, progesterone inserts, anything else. This is where CBD, LDN, again, you're on that, keto. Maybe 1 to 3 months of Orlissa, letrozole, antibiotics can be helpful. Don't give it up, by the way. And sometimes it's more natural transfer versus a medicated transfer. Letrozole trigger and transfer 1 embryo, not 2. But I really recommend laparoscopy, hysteroscopy. I've seen so many that have got in there, removed the fibroids, voila, suddenly the pelvis works better. The environment is saying, okay, we got rid of that interloper, that fibroid, that big tumor, that if it was on your skin, on your breast, on your face, you'd cut it out. These things are tumors which are inflammatory in nature. You want to get rid of them, and either you do some treatment, acupuncture, change in diet, or other treatments you're finding that makes them go away, or you surgically remove them. I've seen the benefits. I've seen so many conceive. And remember, endometriosis and fibroids are absolutely an inflammatory cause, and they're if you see them, it means you have inflammation, which is, I know, the craziest concept in the world to all of this, and it's not always easy to understand. I know, right? All right. Let's see. How to recruit more eggs. So I answered that one. How long after phone consultation normally take to get started? After consult takes 2 to 4 weeks to get everything in line. Remember, we have so many coming to us that want to learn the methods that we brought to bear, and affordability obviously makes it inundated and crazy. But we're working on it. It takes about 2 to 4 weeks. Be patient with the whole process, and appreciate everything everyone is doing on this crazy, crazy journey, by the way. All right. I'm trying to see if through my online Facebook I could see a little bit more questions. All right. Let's see. Do we have to do an HSG wash at one of the particular clinics? Can we do it at a local clinic before transfer? If we can get your local transfer to do an HCG wash, it really is easy. We'll work with your gynecologist, the fertility centers. And remember, we're really recognizing we're trying to expand the fertility market. We're not taking from a limited pie. The pie is infinite. There are so many people suffering from infertility, repetitive losses, genetic disorders, or simply want to have a boy or a girl, and we're here to help in the process. Partner with monitoring in the Dallas. We're working on Dallas area. A lot of really great centers that we've been working with in the past. They're really kind and generous to work with us, and recognizing that they're seeing a client that is coming to CNY upstate New York, maybe coming again in our near future to Orlando, Colorado, and Atlanta. We're working on those things. Please, everyone, patience in the process, and really want to make it the very, very best. But yes, I think that getting monitoring, talk to your gynecologist. Hey, will you help us do some monitoring in the process, right? And we know we're all working together to make that happen in positive ways. And this is where, look at drkiltz.com, Mind, Body, Smile, the Fertile Fireside Chats, share our new keto magazine with your family, your friends, and everyone you know. And remember, send this around globally to help people. And remember, we're all suffering from depression, anxiety, stress. It's rampant in all of our lives. Exactly why, boy, this is the nature of our crazy lives as a human being, that human animal. We are definitely suffering in the process. All right, let me get rid of my. Oh boy, we got to end this here. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's see. Excessive exercise is definitely, yeah. Again, if you're heating up your body too much in too much exercise, go for a walk, slow it down. I used to do a lot of exercise. Now I'm 64, March 12th. I need nothing, by the way. I love all of this sharing, by the way. This is sort of the thing that helps me in my gratitude attitude of life. But excess exercise, and even getting on the treadmill and heating it up for 30 minutes, isn't unnecessary. That's the thing that I've learned now. I've stopped it 8 years now. I've been doing keto paleo for 10 years at least. And I've learned so much on this crazy journey. Constipated after transferring. Yes, a lot of people get constipated after transferring, but this is where you got to add the fat. You got to do the fat. Fat is the key but don't, listen, if you be patient with your poop, the poop will come out. You can't stop it. We've gotten so neurotic at this whole process. That's part of our craziness in this journey, by the way. We just can't seem to stop being craziness in our bowel habits, right? I know all of us. And I used to have tremendous amount of bowel problems, and now just be patient with it. But fat, cream, bacon, butter, ice cream, and check out my ice cream recipe. It's amazing. And for me, it's ribeye steak. But I did have a little bit of Tia's French onion soup. Listen, it's a bone broth with a cheese, no croutons, and then a bisque. I had a lobster bisque soup with lots of cream. It was amazing. All right. And let's see here. AMH 0.57 Shalana, hello. I did get pregnant successfully doing the priming protocol, AMH. And don't allow these numbers to worry you. You've got to take them if you get them, all right, I've got some growth and improvement to make, whether it's acupuncture, massage, meditation. And remember, be nice to your ovaries, uterus, testicles, and vesicles, and all those things. You got to be nice to the miracle machine in the mirror, and a lot of this is the mirrorness, right? We're creating the mirror, and if you understand the brain is the creator of the day. Good day, bad day, right day, wrong day, easy day, hard day. Is it good weather, good temperature? It's up to us individually, by the way. But AMH, idea pregnant doing primary protocol, the AMH reports this AMH is dropping. Again, you got to go Kiltz is keto, carnivore keto, hardcore keto. But remember, the Kiltz is keto is also vegan and vegetarian. It's just one meal a day. The majority of your calories from fat, coconut, hemp seed, and then the carb or the protein component. Remember, you need the essential amino acids and you need essential fatty acids. I believe that is the trick. And there's a great article. The United States Department of Agriculture puts out articles on plants and deadliness to grazing animals, and we're just a grazing animal. I've seen AMHs come up by simply getting rid of the variety, but if you cook them well, you disarm whatever chemicals are damaging our reproduction, and I think that's been real helpful. But don't forget acupuncture, LDN, CBD, DHEA, 25 to 75 milligrams a day. And again, you got to have faith in the baby that's coming and building the family, whether it's going to be someone finds a baby for you for adoption, or suddenly you get pregnant naturally, or someone donates an embryo, egg, and sperm. And remember, ask, hey, anyone out there want to donate some eggs or sperm or embryos, or anyone out there would be willing to carry a baby for me? You got to ask the question, because there is something going on in our bodies that we don't understand. But as we're seeing the cost of healthcare go up, all the drugs go up crazily, and we're trying to find the solution. And the more and more we eat 3 to 6 meals a day, like we're a four-legged, long snout grazing animal, the worse it gets. And my bet is we've been duped by the plants, the predators that want to say, come eat me, and they're either going to make us fertilizer or use us to do their reproduction and their method of being strewn around the globe. All right. I'm working on, Sam Morrow, we're working on the cookbook. Kiltz's cookbook and keto is coming. Please send your recipes and adding. We'll give you credit. Listen, I used to do a tremendous amount of cooking. Tia does most of mine now, but mine is easy. But I used to love Julia Childs, and actually Julia Childs was awesome. It was fat. And remember, if you're fat, change your thought about yourself. And remember, if there's a famine, and there was just a story of a couple lost on Valentine's Day, I think in the Northwest, and they survived for, I don't know, was it 1 to 2 weeks? And my bet is they survived because they were fat. And fat is the fertility fuel for the human body. And we don't know anything about the body. But remember, proteins and carbs must be converted to fat or you die. We do not burn sugar and we do not burn amino acids. We must convert them in the liver to fat. That's the craziness. DHEA, how long to work? I don't know, 3 to 6 months for DHEA, maybe a month. I don't know that answer very well. Fertility yoga with Erin McCullough and Fertile Hope Yoga. She's awesome. And the Fertile Friends, the CNY Fertile Friends, we're working to create the, the house calls, right? The CNY Fertile house calls, which is basically, it's through social media. We all can connect in so many amazing ways. I had like an hour conversation with my friend Paul yesterday. And I love this connection, by the way, with all of you, because it really, we need to have more of a connection. I'm going to do more Zooms, more Facebook Lives. We really need to do this more and more and more and learn from each other. And we sometimes hear the story and we're hurt by what people are saying, and we don't understand the poor communication. But we human beings are kind of, poor at communication, I think. And each day we're working at it to be better. And so thank you for sharing your stories in all of it. Oh, let's see. Menopur versus low-dose HCG. I think low-dose HCG is a perfect way. And doing gonal low-dose HCG is equivalent to gonal plus or follistim plus Menopur. And so some of my doctors and others say, oh no, you've got to use Menopur. I don't believe it. Gonal or follistim plus low-dose HCG, and we're looking at Empower Pharmacy in sharing this new compounded generic FSH protocols to make it more affordable. If you find ways, affordability, quality, and access, please share it with us. Ashley Carter, HCG boosters and interlipids through at least 12 weeks, maybe go longer on the interlipids. I usually say once a week to 12, twice a week, every 2 weeks until 28, and then monthly until term. But even IVIG, but remember, Kiltz's keto is the home run. It's amazing in the concept of how it really, really, really helps us all in the process. You can tell I'm sweating. It's a little cooler outside. Indoors, Tia likes to keep the temperature really hot. So I guess I'm getting a little bit of releasing some of the toxins within my body. Hey, Dr. Kiltz. Hey, Sharonda Van Arnold. I'm doing really well. I had a really great 2 to 3 days of rest and relaxation. I did turn my phone off, which I know it's kind of hard. I made a few calls yesterday, but sometimes I have to take a little R&R. I've been doing a lot of reading, listening, and for me to learn new and different ways to help us all. But I'm doing really fantastic. You guys know that I am what we might label a workaholic. But for me, it's not work. It's part of my pottery and painting and poetry and occasional music hacking. But I really think that we all are learning something. And if you go to my mindbodysmile.com and drkiltz.com and share these concepts and ideas, and I do something called Coffee with Kiltz. And again, I'm very repetitive in the story. The story is really simple. We are Ferraris, miracle machines, and when we learn to put more kindness and generosity, whether you're an atheist, agnostic, or theist, and you find some foundational belief to hold on to, it'll build the energy within all of us. And really enjoyed the Atlanta office. I was there last week. I'm going to be there again in mid-March. And taking a few days off after that. A lot of it is connecting with people around the globe. We saw a lot of our clients coming from Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, and all over America. And again, what we're working to do is empower the CNY Fertility Empowerment Project is empowering you with knowledge and a foundation to communicate with all of us together and open it up to the world where we can learn together and be on that platform to recognize that we're learning together and how what we put in here and how we move this thing here will give us a fertile life. And whether it's babies or animals or helping others in other ways is the part that I don't quite know which way, but it is the way, and sometimes the challenges are hard. Hey, Jennifer Ambrose and Deanna Hoover, Jenna Tripp, how are you? Jonathan, yes, 75, let's see, not sure where the questions are going. Let's see here. Fibroids removed. After fibroids removed, by the way, you need to wait about 3 to 6 months. Even after delivering a baby by C-section, 3 to 6 months, not a year, by the way. Even after having surgery for gastric bypass or sleeve, it's 3 to 6 months. It doesn't make sense to wait a year, by the way. And remember, your body burns fat. And being fat is not the cause of disease. Basically, the cause of disease is eating a healthy, carb-rich diet. And remember, the plants are the killers. All right. Sam Greenwood, how are you? Hello, hello. How can that be? Kale is so good for you. Well, that's what they say. Kale is good for you, but I guess a marijuana plant, an opium plant, a nicotine, tobacco plant's good for us. But in fact, they all contain phytochemicals, plant antigens, fiber that ferments in our guts and maybe aren't so good. What they say is good for us doesn't always make sense, but basically cook it well, add the fat. You'll disarm the phytochemicals and the antigens, the bacteria and the yeast. Maybe, but to say something is good for you, like remember, sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water make a plant. All plants, the same thing, but the DNA decides on which phytochemicals and which plant lectins and glycans and glutens and which tannins are mixed in there. And I've got a great list of the 2,000 phytochemicals in the stuff you think is good for you. But remember, the kale farmers want to make you think it's good for you. Just like the nicotine farmers used to say tobacco is good for you. It's not, I'm sorry, but it sounds good when someone is giving you a marketing idea that makes you think this is good for me. All right. Poor responders, 38 AMH 1.4. All right. So Warrior Jess, remember, keto, keto, keto. This is where I think the letrozole clomid 200, low-dose HCG, human growth low-dose, HCG trigger can be really helpful, by the way. And so again, our ideas of give yourself, this term poor responder is like saying I'm just miserable and I'm no good and I'm depressed. Well, the more you put that in the brain, the more that becomes true. You're a great responder. Your age is young. You have a great AMH, and you're making great eggs and embryos and going to have a baby. And if you haven't watched Tony Robbins, Think and Grow Rich, Power Positive Thinking, haven't read James Allen, and I know this is a high energy guy. I've learned so much from so many on this crazy journey called life. Clomid didn't work for me. Listen, Clomid, I don't love Clomid. I stay away from it as much as I can. Letrozole, low-dose injectables, trigger, and either intercourse, IUI, or IVF. And don't forget, gotta have sex. You gotta have sex. It doesn't matter whether you have a vagina, a penis, whether you have egg and sperm. We do need to at least have intimacy. Intimacy is critical for our human beings. And a lot of this is our intimacy. When we can see each and every one of us, and no matter what we look like, when we can see deep within the beautiful energy that we all are, which is basically the gods, the spiritual joy we can bring to each other is all the better. But let's see, where are we at here? Hey, Kathy, cool. Have you dealt with a lot of patients with hypo? Yes. So hypogonadotropic, hypothalamic hypogonadism. Basically, the brain is low, the ovaries are low. But in general, I think, once again, plant antigens, plant chemicals, which are damaging, and glycation and a low-fat diet allows the receptors to be dysfunctional, and it doesn't work. And then excessive exercise, which makes us have a low fat. Remember, anorexics and very thin is not good for the body, by the way. So yes, I've seen that, again, it's low-dose injectables for a long time, plus Kiltz is keto, high fat, low carb, low protein, and low exercise. And remember, naps are good. You got to reset the mind. And I'm a napper. Like quite often at the office, I'll go sit down for 5 minutes. I do a little bit, close my eyes, meditate. And a lot of my meditation and closed eyes is thank you, God, for this day. Oh, my, thank you for all the people in my life. And I'm really enjoying this moment, and thank you. And the more we stick to the moment and the power of now, Eckhart Tolle, if you haven't read it, and if you haven't checked out Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, there's so many, Don Miguel Ruiz, the Four Agreements. We're really bringing the mind and what we put in the mouth to modern medicine. And that you can somehow find that all those big expensive shots and surgeries may not be so necessary. And if we learn these things as children or infants, and or our mothers learn them while we're being conceived or carrying us, I think a lot of diseases will go by the wayside and we'll learn so much in this world. Hey Donna, how you doing? Global Travel Team, hello. Stacy, thin naturally, besides high fat, high protein, low carb, can I do? Look, no matter what your size is, it is slow it down, cool it down, but it's eating the fat that keeps inflammation down. And remember, fat is your fuel. And it doesn't make sense for a human body to put a bunch of fuel in their body and go run and exercise to burn the fuel, because if you're caught in the forest or in a famine, you're going to find that you wasted your energy, which is the storage, which is fat, is always our energy. Glucose is not our energy, but a lot of it is slow it down. The same things we're talking about for everyone. Acupuncture, massage, yoga, slow it down, cool it down. Letrozole, trigger, intercourse, IUI, IVF, injectables, a mini protocol, and LDN, CBD, keto, and don't forget laparoscopy, hysteroscopy for silent endo, or a month or two of Orlissa plus letrozole low dose, and maybe a month or two of antibiotics, which completely sounds crazy. All right. And Stony Carter, hello. Deshauna Brown, how you doing? Thanks everyone for sharing. And remember, I do this on Sunday morning, and I'm on reruns 24/7, 365, a little neurotic, but share your thoughts and ideas. And if you want, do a video, be part of the story, because we're all learning from each other. And I learned basically LDN and all these things from you guys. I learned a lot from my patients that went to the Beer Center, the Braverman Center, the Kwok Kim Center. And remember, at CNY Fertility, we do reproductive immunology. Reproductive immunology is basically life immunology, the human Ferrari immunology. It's our immune system that has been trashed in the process. All right, let's see. And remember, you can donate eggs and sperm and embryos. Let us know you're interested. Even if you want to just do it because you have extra eggs and you want to help someone, you may find someone in a shared IVF where they will help you with the medications and the process and making this a more affordable for everyone, by the way. All right, how's everyone doing? Got about 10 minutes here. Thank you for joining. I've got to get to the airport shortly on my trip Atlanta to Syracuse. A busy, busy week. All right, Courtney Little Lamberth, what is the optimal TSH? Before you start any fertility things, 2.5 or lower. But once you start the treatments, quite often the medicines and the treatments will stimulate your TSH. We want to make sure your T3, T4, free and bound is in the normal level. Now, there's lots of different ways to do this, but TSH, prolactin, and if you're noticing psoriasis, arthritis, bowel problems, migraines, eye problems, ear problems, mental problems, which I have, of course, we're all suffering in one way. It's all inflammation. It's all caused by that same 5 things. And take a look at Kiltz's keto, the cure, and the lifestyle. And the more we're going to add to lifestyle on yoga, meditation, if you go into group activities and exercise, cool it down. If you're trying to, you want to get stronger and lean and more muscle, yes, you're going to do that. But recognize if you're suffering from some disease and you're trying to get rid of it, my bet is it's glucose, antigens, chemicals, bacteria and yeast fermenting in the bowels, making heat, gas, alcohol, and aldehydes, and again, excess exercise. My partner and I are having consultation, reciprocal IVF, and we do, again, you can bring your partner or a friend that, remember, the fertile friends that you find on CNY Fertility is a home run, by the way. And we're looking for, if you can find a partner fertility center in anywhere in this globe, we will help make it work for you, by the way. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, you can ship, we have a home sperm collection kit for those guys that can't make it. Even to the part where we can get that sperm shipped, the blood testing shipped, in order to be a donor, by the way. It's crazy concepts and ideas. We're here to help you in this journey, the CNY fertility ideas and ways that I'm learning each and every day. And I'm sure in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or 30 years from now, when I'm 95 and I'm still sharing these concepts and ideas, we're going to learn something new and different in the journey. AMH is 1.5, got pregnant, has one, fast does it drop. I'm 39 and have a 3-year, and I have conceived in 3 years naturally. Tested my thyroid, took meds for, got pregnant that month. Taryn Sears, question, AMH 1.5, 39. You know, we don't know how, to do an AMH or look at FSH and your age to know what's your timing of declination or declining of your levels. No one really knows that answer for sure. We do know this, that you don't know tomorrow, and anything you do as an insurance policy can benefit you today for tomorrow. You just don't know if you're going to need it. Everything we share to you in this concepts and ideas in either our family building guide or our Dr. Kiltz's keto lifestyle is really ideas that you should follow to help keep all of those things better. Plus, guys, it improves your testosterone, your vitality. And the more you learn from this stuff, it's the most amazing. Stop looking at all these numbers. The numbers can be deceptive and you can be distracted. Oh, my number is this and I'll never get pregnant. Well, that's not true, except because you think it is. And when we learn more and more to let go of what we know and learn the new thing, and this is mindfulness, and being mindful is the real key to life. And this fertility journey for us is, I'm a scientist, I'm a mathematician, and what I learned long ago, and what I've learned is there is so much science that we are resistant to, and I'm really amazed at it. And so Stacy Hemmett, by the way, I'm very thin naturally. What besides high fat, high protein, low carb can I do? Remember, the keto paleo is not a high protein diet. It's a high fat diet. And you need fat for energy. You don't need protein very much, and you need no carbs. So, but once again, look at what we share on the family building guide, the keto lifestyle guide for all of us. I've seen so many improvements for all of us, by the way. And no matter your age, your size, your shape, your gender identification, color identification, it doesn't matter. We all are beautiful human beings on this human journey, and we are working together, no matter where you are and what you're living through, to find kindness, love, gratitude, and forgiveness to all of us, by the way. All right. Wow. The little bit of that sweat. DNC on Wednesday for missed miscarriage. How long before I could start a retrieval if numbers allow? You could start a retrieval technically you could do a DNC and start a retrieval right away. Remember, retrieve and make embryos and freeze them, or get you started right away and build the lining. Can we prime with LDN? Lotus naltrexone for men and women. I think it's really good for egg source and sperm source. Anywhere between 1.5 and 4.5 is CBD, keto. Kiltz is keto, Kiltz is keto, Kiltz is keto. Again, it really is an amazing thing that I found that has helped me in reducing the inflammation in the brain. Migraines are gone. And the more and more and more. Remember, water fresh air, and fresh food, by the way. This canned stuff and packaged stuff and powdered stuff, that's the part you got to get rid of. If you simply go to the market and buy fresh meat and fresh vegetables, you're better off. But remember, some of those fresh vegetables and fruits contain the chemicals that might be disrupting your reproduction. So that's why I talk about cooking them well and adding the fat, by the way. All right, almost done here. A couple more minutes. I got to pack up the remaining up. Did he just say he has a mental? Listen, we all have mental problems in one way or another because we're human beings. And so recognize that even anxiety, depression, fear, and worry are all normal parts of a human life. And when you feel them, don't give them bad energy. Recognize they're part of our lives, but there are ways of finding more positivity and love and kindness and turning our brain in different directions, just like we can heal any other disease. Imagine that the mental discourse we're feeling is really part of the same thing. All right. And a thank you again to everyone. We'll be running out. Let's see here. Outcomes on TESE procedure, extreme low sperm count. I think the testicular biopsy for guys with extremely bad sperm and or bad fertilization or bad blasting, 1 to 3 months of HCG, maybe 25 a clomid or 2.5 of letrozole, and then LDN and CBD and keto and HCG 250 a day. Biopsy may get some better sperm that may give you a better embryo that may ultimately help and improve the process. Let's see here. I have high cholesterol. Listen, if you really understand cholesterol, we don't know a thing about cholesterol. Stop measuring it, is my opinion. My bet is that you really follow these things and you feel better, you'll know it. This idea of measuring cholesterol and telling you what you need to do, it is really an outrageous, crazy concept. But health and wellness can be found in stopping all the testing and all the drugs as much as we can. And again, I'm a Western trained standard American doctor who does a lot of this surgeries and pills and potions, but I'm learning that the more and more and more I've learned from the ancient ideas of, once a day, keto, carnivore, paleo, again, whether it's vegan, vegetarian, or whatever, you can really find it by changing this and this to change the insides of the miracle machine, by the way. Musao, Natalie, hello, thank you very much. And everyone, gratitude, attitude for me every day, even in the challenges we all face, and I have them. I work every day to communicate better with Tia, my daughter Pilar, the people around me, and you and all of us, and recognize discourse is maybe normal in the course of the day, but when we individually can learn and respect that we are creating the situations in front of us, because the brain is the creator of everything out there, and we can change that, but it takes a lot of input, practice, and dedication. So let's see. What do you think of the success of fair grade embryos? Listen, by judging anything by its outward appearance is not very good. If you have an embryo and it's your embryo, why wouldn't you give it the best chance possible? And my embryo is going to make a beautiful baby. And that is the answer that I've learned more and more and more in this journey. So that's the craziness, right? All right. I've been trying for years. She isn't doing well with it. Chris Jugan. Listen, the emotional damage that we go through and anything we go through in life is the hardest for sure. And that's why Mind, Body, Smile I created 15 years ago in finding for myself how to create a foundation of recognizing it is a hard journey, but those things in life that are the most valuable are the hardest to obtain, and don't give up. And that's where you need to dig deep into the vastness of our human capabilities, that we can find a better way to see even the failures is part of the fantastic nature of life. When we fail, that means we've done something, we've tried something. We just didn't lay on a couch and fall asleep and never wake up. Although at times we feel like, oh my God, I've got to do that. But listen, you've got to listen and learn as we talk together on this journey. And my job is to inspire myself every day and each other. All right, we just lost the Instagram team. It ran out of time, so I'm going to say goodbye to the Facebook Lives. God bless. See you on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or just a simple text and email. God bless. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.